Hey, it's Adrian, and today I have the MeloBuds Pro from QCY. Now, QCY is a fairly new company to me, but after using these for about 2 weeks, I can't wait to see what they come out with next. The sound coming out of these is truly impressive. They just boom, and the first time I put these in my ears, I couldn't believe what I was hearing coming out of these, because just looking at them, they don't look like anything special, but this is a good case of don't judge a book by its cover. Now that's thanks large in part to the 12mm elastic biofiber diaphragm drivers. On top of that, you have LDAC support, you have multi-point connection, 360-degree stereo sound, you also have an IPX5 waterproof rating, and you have transparency and ANC modes, but with strength effect sliders. You could just stop watching this video, order these, test them out for yourself. I don't think you're going to be returning them, but if you need a bit more info, let's take a closer look, and a big thanks to QCY for sending these out for review. In the box, we have the charging case, the QCY MeloBuds Pro, a USB Type-C to Type-A charging cable, and additional ear tips along with manual. The QCY MeloBuds Pro come in this really small and compact case. It fits, very nicely in the palm of my hands, and it only weighs about 41 grams. So yeah, super lightweight setup. Now there is an LED indicator light on the front, and at the very bottom we have the USB Type-C charging port and pairing button. Now this is a matte finish, and it's fairly good at resisting fingerprints. I can't really tell, so I'm glad with the design choice here. Now to get access to the earbuds, you just flick open the top lid, and you can see it stays nicely in place. It doesn't just fall down, and if I kind of shake it, the earbuds stay nicely in place. Now to get access to them, it's very easy. You have a lot of room to just go ahead and yank these kind of outright there, so really happy with that as well. Some earbuds are a bit of a pain to get access to. And then looking at the bottom of the case, we have the metal contacts there. Just gonna close those up. Now taking a closer look at the earbuds, we have this kind of shiny finish on the side here, and this is where we have access to the touch control. So yeah, it's a nice glossy type of finish, kind of like a pastel type of purple, or kind of bluish purple look. And the rest of it is kind of this matte black, and we also have a microphone port there. This is what the speaker grill looks like, and then we have the charging contacts at the bottom. Just yank that out so you can have a closer look there. So yeah, it's a really compact type of earbud. They only come in at around 4 grams each, so you really don't feel these in your ear after, kind of extended wear. Here's a quick look at the specs. Feel free to pause and review, or skip ahead to the next section. I've disconnected the MeloBuds Pro from my S24 Ultra, and I'm going to add them to my Z Fold 5. Go ahead and hit pair. And I can see that it is now connected on the Z Fold 5. And then I'll go ahead and connect them on the S24 Ultra now. And you could see that it's simultaneously connected to both phones at the same time, allowing me to seamlessly switch the audio. Let me demo the multi-point functionality. So I'm going to start playing music on the first phone. I'm going to just put this up to the microphone so you can hear it. And then what I'll do is I'll pause the music here, play it on the other phone. And hopefully you can hear that. So I can go ahead and just switch between the audio source from either phone. Now it doesn't do this automatically. So for example, if I started playing it on this phone, it's still going to continue playing on the first phone. I have to manually pause it, and then it's going to kick in after a few seconds. Just like so. But one thing I wanted to mention is, if I have music playing on this phone and I was to receive a call on this phone, it would automatically jump to the audio on this phone, since it's going to prioritize phone calls. The ANC performance on here is actually really good considering the price that these come in at. So these are rated for up to 46 decibels of noise cancellation. Now, a lot of that also comes down to a combination of things, such as the aggressiveness of the ANC features on here, the fitment in your ear, and just how loud you have the volume whenever you're listening to music. What's really unique about these is that there's actually different noise cancellation modes, something I haven't seen before. So there's a mode for indoor listening, a mode for computing, a mode for windy days, a mode for noisy environments, and an adaptive noise cancelling mode. But on top of that, you also have sliders under each of the modes that you can adjust to change the effect strength for each of the modes that you pick. But for the most part, I just leave the strength effect slider on the maximum setting. Now, I listen to my music at around 70 to 80%, sometimes a little bit more. And for most situations that I'm in, that's plenty enough to have a nice and comfortable listening experience without too much ambient noise bothering me. They've also tuned the transparency mode really good on here. So there's a vocal enhancer mode, which you can turn on if you're going to be communicating with someone. But then if you don't want to use that feature and you just want to kind of hear what's going on around you, again, you do have a strength effect slider to change just how aggressive the transparency mode is on these. But let's talk about the sound experience, because even if these didn't come with multi-point or 360 stereo audio or smart wearing detection, these would still be worth the price they're asking for these, because the sound is just otherworldly coming out of these. I've been switching between the bass boost equalizer and normal equalizer depending on the type of music I'm listening to, and sounds just come alive with these. Like, I didn't want to take them off. The bass response is so good. It's punchy, it's crisp, and you have good resonance on there. It's just clean delivery. Now, if you buy these and you don't get that type of bass performance or bass response, make sure that you have LDAC turned on. Make sure you're listening to high bitrate audio, and make sure you have the right type of ear tips inserted. And trust me, you will get that effect. And when I wasn't in the mood for super bass heavy songs, I was just using the normal equalizer for, kind of vocal heavy music, and vocals came through just so cleanly, so pristinely. It's really an enjoyable listening experience. And you hear so many details that I've never heard before in songs I've listened to, kind of a ton of times, even with other earbuds. For some reason, these just seem to bring out a little bit more detail. It's really like rediscovering certain songs for the first time. I was also pretty happy with the performance of the 360-degree stereo sound on these, and I actually didn't expect to find that type of functionality on earbuds that cost this much. I'm really just having a hard time kind of doing justice to just how awesome these sound. It's kind of a case where I think you just have to go out, buy these, try them for yourself to really see what I'm talking about. I review a lot of earbuds that cost, 3 times the price of these, but for the price that these cost, I'm just blown away with the sound. Here's what the microphones sound like on the QCY MeloBuds Pro. I'm in a fairly quiet room with little to no ambient noise. Let me know how you think it sounds. I'm now going to play very loud background noise on my other phone at around 80% to test the mics. Here's what audio sounds like from the QCY MeloBuds Pro microphone with simulated background noise playing at around 80% and about 16 inches away from the background noise source. I've used the microphones for a couple of calls. I always ask the callers how they found the audio. They didn't report anything wrong. They said it sounded clear, easy to make me out. And even when I played the kind of simulated ambient noise of a coffee shop, you can still easily hear my voice. So it's not canceling out a lot of the background noise, but the vocals are still isolated enough that it's easy to carry on a conversation. Smart wearing detection also works really quickly, so I'm just going to pop these out. The music is going to pause, and as soon as I insert them in, it's only about a second or so till it resumes. Very quick. I was also able to game pretty easily with the gaming mode applied on the MeloBuds Pro, and I didn't feel like there was any type of noticeable latency. So the QCY MeloBuds Pro definitely deliver on the IPX5 Waterproof rating. Battery life is rated for 8.5 hours without ANC and 7.5 hours with ANC on, thanks to the 35 milliamp hour battery in each earbud. Now, if you go ahead and charge them in the charging case, you can expect up to 34 hours of battery life, thanks to the 350 milliamp hour battery in the charging case. And whenever you run out of battery, a quick 10-minute charge will give you approximately 1 hour of playtime. The touch control sensitivity is also extremely sensitive on these, so I could go ahead and just use my finger, or if I want, I could just go ahead and use my entire palm and it's going to respond. But the best part is just how much fine control you have over the touch controls, because in the QCY app, you can set each earbud individually, right and left, and you can set the single tap, double tap, triple tap. It's exactly how touch control should be done for every brand of earbud. I also find the MeloBuds Pro to be extremely comfortable to wear, so the longest I've worn these is about 4.5 hours, and that was really the first day I took it out of the box, put them in, and I was just blown away by the sound. I didn't want to take them out like I mentioned, and they sit very securely in here. This is just with the medium ear tips, and you can see I'm hitting it, kind of nudging my ear, and these are just kind of sitting in there really nice. Even though they have the little bit of the stem, you know, they just tuck nicely in there and they stay, which is great for bass response as well. Let's take a look at the QCY app and all the settings because it's pretty good. So you can see the right and left earbud volume. Now if I go into sound, I can go ahead and switch between the different equalizers. So right now it's on default, but you could switch it to heavy bass, which is one of the ones that I prefer. And then you can also go into customize and set your own type of equalizer. Now we have the normal mode, transparency mode, and the transparency mode, you can actually adjust the slider to change the aggressiveness of the transparency, so you could hear a bit more or a little bit less of your background. You could also turn on vocal enhancement. It's going to disable the slider and it's going to just, you know, prioritize for having communication with someone. Under noise canceling mode, we have the option for adaptive noise canceling. I don't really use that, but you do have the options also for indoor commuting if you're going to be on, you know, a loud bus or a train, for example, noisy and anti-wind noise. Now for some of these, such as noisy, you can actually change the effect strength of that noise canceling mode. Now let me just go back over here. It's acting a bit wonky. Now under commuting, you can see again, I can drag that slider easily. And if you have a little bit of difficulty with hearing, or if, you know, one ear is not as good as the other, you can change the balance of the audio output. Now let's go into the full settings, and I have settings set up for single touch, double touch, triple touch, and here are the different options. You can just set it to not do anything, you know, play, pause, previous track, next track, voice assistant, volume up, down, gaming mode, and ANC, and I kind of have it set up exactly how I like it. Now you can also activate this option to find the headset, and it's just gonna show you on a map geographically where was the last time, and you can also play a sound as well. You can also set the timing power off, so you can set it to close after 15 minutes, 90 minutes, or custom. I don't generally use that. Now wear detection, this is enabled so that it's just gonna automatically pause music playback when you pop one of the earbuds out of your ears if you want to talk to someone and you're not willing to switch to transparency mode. Once you do take the earbuds off, you have a couple options. So when you put it back in, it'll automatically play, that's the default. Or you can set it to take off the earbud to pause, but when you put it back, don't play, or take off the earbuds to pause, but you need to put both into play. You can also set the earbuds to power off and disconnect after 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and this is if it's just gonna be inactive and not connected to anything. We can also enable gaming mode from here, sleeping mode, and then we can also turn on LDAC, and as soon as we turn on LDAC, it is going to restart the earbuds and we're not gonna have access to Multipoint. So you are gonna have to make a trade-off there. By the way, if you give the QCY app enough access, you'll have this kind of drop-down menu where you could see the battery level. You could go ahead, play music and resume music. You can also switch the ANC mode on or off, enable transparency, or you could just launch right into the full QCY app. So the QCY MeloBuds Pro are some of the best sounding earbuds that I've used for the price range, and I've used more expensive earbuds than these, and these sound just as good, if not better in some cases. So these are gonna come in at around $47.99 US, but I do believe they're gonna go on sale for July 4th. Even if you didn't pick these up on sale and you have to pay full price for these are easily worth it. You're gonna get treated to a memorable listening experience every time you put these in. You have multi-point functionality, you have LDAC at this price range, you have the 360 audio, and you have full control over the touch sensitive controls. So if your earbud budget is around $50, and even if it's under $100, I would say maybe stop the hunt, stop the research, go ahead and order these, test them out, let me know how it goes. I'm really curious to hear what you guys think, if I'm, you know, right or dead on about the sound quality coming out of these, because I have not heard such great sounding earbuds in a long time for the price. In fact, when I first got these and I saw the price, I was like, okay, I expect these to be kind of average, run-of-the-mill like listening experience, but they've just blown me away in pretty much every single area that I've tested these in. So if you're interested in picking up the QCY MeloBuds Pro, I'm gonna leave some links down below to pick one up for yourself, or to learn a little bit more. And check out some of my other tech reviews. I'm sure you're gonna find something you like. If you like this video, please consider liking and subscribing. It truly does help me out a lot, and I'll see you in the next one soon.